Here's a video on congruence and triangles. Let's show you how this works. Okay, sometimes you're going to get these statements like this. This says triangle DEF is congruent to triangle KJI. That means they're the exact same. Same size, same angle, same everything. You'll get a question like this. FD is congruent to what? The easiest way to do that is look up here at your congruency statement. We go FD. I put one dot there and two dots to show what it is. If you'll look up here and just go in the exact same order, then you can see which will be the same. In this case, it would be IK. It's really simple. You could also look at the different angles and the marks and figure it out that way, but I think looking at this congruency statement is by far the easiest. Look at this. This says angle A. It tells you right here that triangle BAC is congruent to triangle LMN. These two are congruent, and then it says A is the same as what? Well, A is the middle, and M is in the middle. So angle M would be the ones that would be congruent. Let's look at another example. The reason I like looking at these statements like this is because if you have a figure like here, if you go by looks, you could get confused. These are flopped around a little bit. Look at this. This says angle F is congruent to what? Well, F is the third letter, and R is the third letter. So if you'll do it this way, you don't have to worry about looking at the figure and maybe getting confused. You might think these would be the same. They're not. Look at the letters. Third letter, third letter. Angle R is congruent to angle F. Simple as that. Alright, now this says write a statement that indicates that they're congruent. See how these have all the same markings? This means these two are congruent to each other. Here's what I do. I'm going to look at the angles. Let's say you can start anywhere you want. I'm going to look at this one. I'm going to go JKI. So I'm going to go triangle JKI is congruent. Now look, J has 1. What over here has 1? T. So triangle T. I went from 1 to the 2 marks. So I got to go to the 2 marks. R. And then what I have left is S. And there's your congruency statement saying what's congruent about these two triangles. Let's do it again. Triangle, this time I'm going to go DBC. It doesn't matter what order you do the first time. What matters is the order of your second one. Alright, D had 3 marks, so I look over here with 3, and I got I. Then I went B, went to 1. So I go to 1, G. And the last one was H. There's your congruency statement. Sometimes these would be numbers instead of marks. You would just go from the same numbers. Okay? Look at this one. This could be very confusing if you looked at it and you didn't go by the letter system. Let's do this one first. Let's go I. So we'll go triangle I. We'll go SR. ISR is congruent to what triangle? I has 3, and so does T. Then I went to S. S has 1. What over here has 1? The R. So my second letter would be R. And then it goes to S. So see, if you were just looking at that instead of following the letters, it could be confusing. Alright, this says mark. Sometimes you'll get questions that say mark the angles and sides to show what are congruent. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the angles. I'm going to go B. I'll put 1. It's in the same as the M. I'll put 1. D. I'll put 2. Over here, L. I'll put 2. And then C. I'll put 3. And then the K gets 3. Alright, then it said to also mark the sides. So between 1 and 2, I put 1 mark. So between 1 and 2. Between 1 and 3, I'll put 2 marks. Between 1 and 3, I'll put 2 marks. which means I put 3 marks between 2 and 3. Now those are marked showing what's congruent. It's really easy. Let's try the G. G gets 1, L gets 1. Okay? F gets 2, therefore K gets 2. And E gets 3, which means M gets 3. Alright, and then we'll mark between 1 and 2 with 1, 1 and 2 with 1. Between 2 and 3, we'll put 2. Between 2 and 3, 2. Oops. 2. And between 3 and 1, I get 3 marks on this one. Between 3 and 1, 3 marks. So there you go. That's how these are marked the same. So for your extra credit, and I forgot to write that down. Extra credit. Okay, for 1, tell me what letter is the same as U. For 2, tell me which angle is the same as angle Y. Right here, write. Number 3, write a congruency statement showing the triangles are congruent. And for 4 and 5, you're going to have to draw these two figures and then mark and show what is congruent, which angles are congruent to which angles. Show your work, draw these, show your work. These you can just write the letter. Here, just write the statement, turn that in to Mr. Riddle, and get your extra credit.